I read Say What You Will by Cammie and McGovern. This book had two main characters that both had different types of disabilities. One of the characters' names was Amy, and the other character was Matthew. Amy had cerebral palsy, and Matthew had obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD. Cerebral palsy is a group of neurological disorders that affects body movement, muscle coordination, and balance. However, many people with cerebral palsy have above-average intelligence. OCD is usually obsessions or repeated thoughts, urges, or mental images that will cause anxiety. Commonly, this is fear of germs or contamination. With obsessions, there's also compulsions, or repetitive behaviors that a person feels the urge to do, commonly washing hands or counting. Amy went to a high school with students of all different ability levels. However, at her high school, she had a bunch of different teacher aides, which didn't make her very happy since a lot of kids wouldn't talk to her for this reason. This gave Amy the idea to instead have students at her school be her peer helpers to help her do her everyday tasks. One of her peer helpers ended up being Matthew, which made Amy very happy. Although Amy now had her peer helpers instead of teacher helpers, there were still some limitations to her education. Amy was an A+ student who always did well on her assignments and would also do well in different group settings. However, some of her teachers didn't agree and thought that she was cheating on her homework because now she has her peer helpers, and she thought that her peer helpers were doing the work for her. This made Amy mad because this was not true, and Amy was very intelligent and did all of her work on her own. Amy proved that she was very intelligent when she learned she got accepted into many colleges, including the one she decided to go to, which was Stanford. Amy going to Stanford meant one thing. She was going to have to leave Matthew and be away from him, even after they became such good friends. Since the two of them both had different disabilities that made them outsiders, their friendship meant so much to each other because it was one of their first friendships they've had. Leaving Matthew would mean leaving one of her only friends, which made Amy very sad, and when she told Matthew, it made him sad as well. Amy and Matthew decided to spend the entire summer together. They spent so much time together that they both started liking each other more than just a friend. Because of this, they developed feelings for each other, which would make Amy leaving for Stanford that much harder. Then it was time for Amy to go off to college. She had to say bye to Matthew, which was very hard for the two of them. Once Amy got to college, she learned that the dorm she thought she was staying in wasn't actually what she was going to do. She had to live in her own little dorm, away from campus, close to the nurse on site, just in case any issues happened. Amy's classes also didn't go very well because most of her professors took her as a joke and didn't take anything she said seriously. This hurt Amy since she is very intelligent, and she did get into Stanford for a reason. Matthew, on the other hand, had too much anxiety to even apply to any colleges. Because of this, he didn't go to any college and instead decided to work at a movie theater full-time. Eventually, Amy was very sad at college because she had to live isolated with no friends, as well as not doing well in her classes because the professors didn't really take her seriously. Because of this, she decided to drop out of college and had to move back home. The good thing about Amy being able to go back home was that she finally got to be with Matthew again. The two of them didn't talk for the longest time because the distance between her college and where he worked was so far. Finally, the two were back together again and could pursue their feelings for each other. Overall, I thought this book was good and had a good message of inclusion and acceptance. It taught that even though people with disabilities are different, you can still make friends with them in different ways.